Check, check. Trying to get everything straightened around. Not for sure if we are live yet or not. I apologize. Running way behind today for sure. Uh, Pop says we're live. Awesome. Sorry about that. I have been wrestling this case behind me. I'm trying to get the chat up and we will see what we can get going here. Uh, so Pop says we're live. Awesome. So you are on what it says. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good week, good weekend so far. I literally just got up from behind this thing. Couldn't get everything done on it. I thought I had a motor for it. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. I'm trying to see what's going on. For some reason, it's not coming in. I'm getting it though. Uh, anyway, sorry about that. I think everybody's knows how it is sometimes. It's just like I'm running. Said I just drug this thing around. I thought I had a motor for it, and the motor's a little bit too big for it. Actually, it runs a little bit too fast. So I gotta go back to the drawing board and find a different motor for it. And I'm also on a search for a motor for this other one too. So um, this is the motor that let me see if I can get it out right quick. I'll show you. This is the motor that I have got that I was trying to use, but it's a little bit too quick. I didn't get a chance to get anything finished completely on it yet. So anyway, I'm looking to get another one. I've got another one ordered. We'll see if it comes in, and hopefully get this case back running and our other big case over there. So what I was in the middle of doing before I got sidetracked on I actually got sidetracked. I was getting the hot birds out because somebody had asked last week about hot birds, and they were actually specifically about the brown one and the blue one. But I was in the middle of getting those out. I was about to move this stuff and get these cars all out because I moved this around today, trying to get some trying to get that running. So I went ahead and pulled the hot birds out. This is some other hot birds and I just pulled out, and then there's another tray of them, and then of course these are not well, that one's a hot bird, but all the rest of these are the 77 casting, and from here over 77, and all these are the 77 casting, and of course you've got the funny car there. But we'll look at the hot birds here in a second. I was just trying to show you what we had going on here. This is an Arrow one. I just setting it off to the side. But anyway, we'll go over them in a second. Like I said, I was planning on laying them all out here, and I just run out of time, to tell you the truth. Let's see who's all here, and like I said, we'll go over some of this. I actually got some posters out. Now, I didn't bring my Snake and Mongoose poster over here, the one that's framed. I needed to get it out, but I did bring some of the other posters that I'm still waiting to frame some of them, and I'll show y'all those if y'all want to look at them. And let's see who's all here real quick. Dad's here, Pops, Rebecca, what's going on? Carol's here, Shay's here, Mid-Century Monsters. Chris, what's going on? Tool Time, what's up? I said I'm just running a little behind. I apologize. Got some bang on the red Solo cup here. Anyway, so I was asked about the hot birds, and so I thought, well, let me move this. I didn't mean to have that up there. Anyway, I got that. One thing I did, I was out looking this weekend when we were out and about, and I was looking for that that new Matchbox moving parts Trans Am, but I did find one Matchbox I thought was cool, and I thought that was neat. I hadn't seen that one yet. Y'all probably seen it already, but I thought it was really cool. It's got the Honcho Jeep right there. It says 1980. It's got the Honcho paint job on it. I'm not a big, Matchbox guy, but I just thought that one was awesome, so I went ahead and picked that one up. Thought it was cool. Y'all, like I said, y'all probably already know and seen it, but first time I'd seen it, I thought I'd pick it up. Thought it was cool. Um, so I so far as the hot birds go, um, I got a couple of them out. Well, I mean, we can go through them all. I haven't got them all laid out yet, but we can go through them. But of course, they were originally the original Hot Bird Blackwall was released in '77, into '78, right whenever they switched from red lines into Blackwall. Um, you'll notice that there's going to be the Hong Kong bases on these. Both of these are the Hong Kong base on the Blackwall, if y'all can see that. But you're going to have two different windows. You're going to have a green window on this one, and you're going to have like a blue color window on that one. Pretty cool. And then I've got the another Blackwall here, and main reason I think it's in there is the birds discolored a little bit. Thought that was pretty cool. So it's like a transition piece in the middle between the two colors. But if you look at the windows, one of them's really, really blue. The other one's like a light blue green, and then the other one's a green. So kind of neat. So they released that. They also released the Golden Machines version. And you're going to find it with two different windows also. You're also going to find this one. It's kind of hard to show you this right here, I think. But hold on. I think I've cut my hand on something real quick. I don't know. Rebecca, if you're watching, do you know what we did with those cards that we found? Because I don't know what I did with them, and I didn't see them downstairs. If you're watching it still, you probably got it on in the background. Plus, I probably need a Band-Aid. I think I cut my hand on that blade earlier on the back of that machine. But anyway, so you got a sorry. So you got like a more of a clear and a green window on the gold ones. And I was trying to get some of this stuff out. Like I said, I wanted to lay it out a little bit better so I could go over it a little better. I'll show you. And this one right here is what the golden machines come in. And you can see the hot bird there. Pretty cool. So that's pretty cool. So I had that. One other piece before we go over that I've not seen, but one of these, and it was in a different packaging. It was a little different packaging. Is this Bradley watch? This is from 1980 if you look at the date there, and it's got the hot bird on it. So when I saw that, I've had this for a few years now. I found that and I had to have it, so I went ahead and picked it up. And that's just really cool because you hardly ever see the hot bird stuff on, because there's a keychain that come in some of the foreign packages, and then there's a wallet. I'm still hunting the wallet for this, so that's pretty cool. So I went ahead and picked that one up. I thought I'd show you that while I was up. And I'll go ahead and pull these up forward before we get there to show you. I was in the middle of going through these whenever I run out of time. But there's more hot birds going down through there. But we'll get back into these hot birds real quick. Like I said, these trays are pretty easy to move out of this. So it's real easy if you're going to redo your tray, and then you can just come from the back and set them back in, because every one of these has to be raised to keep them from rolling. And so I've been putting some felt under each one, but I haven't had a chance to lay it back out since we've redone everything. So, but anyway, we'll get back over to the hot birds. But like I said, every one of these is different hot birds. And this is not every hot bird, but because I've still got some more over here, and I've got some more loose ones that I've got to get the rest of the variations on. So anyway, thank you. anyway, sorry about that. Don't mean to be boring everybody. I just was trying to get these cards I picked up this weekend. I was going to show them to you real quick. And then we'll get back into the hot birds. I'm going to lay these hot birds down here. And then we'll look through these. Oh yeah, one more thing before we get back over to the hot birds is I don't know if y'all been to the Dollar Tree lately. This I seen at Dollar Tree and I just went ahead and picked it up. It's numbers and counting, and it's $1.25. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this. I'm going to open one of these. I wanted to see what was on these cards. Like I said, I popped in a Dollar Tree and saw them, and so I thought, well, we'll see what's about on these cards. So look like you got all different cars on the cards. Great for counting your numbers. Roger Dodgers, Shark Cruiser. Pretty cool. Teaching you how to count. Still looking for the number 1. There it is. That must be the number 1 there. Oh. And then you got number 2. Then they went into the, I guess so you can match the name. 3. Pretty cool little setup for kids for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. That's pretty cool. Learn how to count real quick. And in the front side, see what they look like. You got your different backs on these. Pretty cool little setup. Cool little card game for so you can learn numbers. Pretty fun for $1.25. So thought that was really cool. So I figure I would pick that up. I didn't know what the cards actually would have on them. There's the number 1. I was wondering where the number 1 was at. So there's number 1. And then it says it's not the same without the flame, if you can read that there. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, if you've got anybody that's younger and want to learn numbers and they're into Hot Wheels at all, or they don't even have to be in Hot Wheels, it's pretty cool. $1.25 tree. And I picked up a couple of these, so I'm gonna throw one of them in that in the giveaway where I'm putting everything together. I've been starting that already. So if y'all saw the last video that I put out, I guess it was a couple days ago now. There was a couple things in there that I asked questions about, but I hadn't seen anybody answer yet. So that's pretty cool. If you notice something in there, y'all put in the comments if y'all seen that toward the end. But anyway, I cut my finger open earlier. Didn't mean to. But the blade on them fans on those motors are pretty sharp. If you hadn't ever messed with them. So anyway, so Deborah's here. What's going on? Yeah, we've been working. We've got we'll get back over to the hot birds here in a second. I'll kind of show y'all kind of some of the stuff. We'll go over some of these posters here in a minute. But sorry, I didn't mean for it to be so shaky. But yeah, we've been cleaning quite a bit. I've got a lot of stuff moved around, and you kind of see how all that's going. I'm slowly starting to clean up over this way. And like I said, once I get, I'm trying to get these cases to where they're twirling and fixed. So as soon as I get those fixed, I can get through my loose stuff. So, but anyway, so we'll get back over here to the hot birds real quick. Yeah, Deborah, you're right. I've seen that set. I may have it. I don't remember. I remember seeing that set before. That's really cool. And I don't usually see much as far as cards playing stuff. And for that price, I was like, you know what? We're gonna get a couple of those. So I got one. I'm gonna put up, and then I got one. I'm gonna throw in the I got a giveaway that I'm gonna give away toward the end of the show. That's a bunch of stuff that I've picked up throughout the year at different shows and stuff. Chris says, I know you mentioned Beat 16 toward the end of the video. Yeah, I did mention that. I didn't know if anybody caught up on that one or not. But I went ahead and left that part in there because I actually started picking up a few. And I actually asked on the video, I don't know if it's something that y'all want to do again. I'm still going to do what they're called the decades to give away sometime this year. I'm hoping to hit 5,000 subs sometime this year, so we're going to give away something for that. I'm giving away also what I call, I guess, more of a grab bag of a bunch of stuff that I bought throughout the year. Kind of hint on, I'm picking up something at kind of most every show that I go to and putting something in a little grab bag that'll be kind of like something I thought was cool. It might be a mixture of something old to new. And then, like I said, I'm going to give all that stuff away toward the end of the year. But anyway, we'll get back over to some of these hot birds. Like I said, I apologize for not having everything together and ready. Like I said, up until about an hour ago, I had all this tore apart and the back of this open. I thought we was going to be able to see her twirl. When I started her up, she started shake, rattling, and rolling, and all these trucks move, so I've got to get the rest of that felt in. But can't really do that until I make sure these work. And of course, you got the big one over there. I've got it tore apart too. Let's see if I can turn this computer just a little bit so y'all can see the top. See the top of it up there kind of tore apart. I've got it. I'm ready to go to get the red line started in that case, but I've got to, I'm finding a motor for it too. I've got one ordered and hopefully it'll work. And if it does, I'll go from there. And then I've got to get another motor for what I'm working on this other case. Of course, y'all probably knew, a lot of y'all that's been here for a long time knew that I've had this case for a long time. And it worked great until I was trying to fill it up with half of my buses on one side, and then the motor finally gave out because the buses are so heavy. So live and learn on that. And the motors are not the cheapest things in the world to buy. So anyway, I apologize for the long explanation, but so anyway, that brings us to, which a lot of people think is a lot of people, besides the Leos. Now I've got one Leo hot bird somewhere still to find up in the shop as I get through some stuff up there. I haven't been to the shop this week at all. So, I just pulled these out of this case as I was going through them, and, except for of course, the through 1990 stuff, but so you went from your black one that first come out, then you went to your golden machines, then your brown one come out, and this is the brown one. This is the one that, as far as U.S. made ones, that's probably some of the rarest one. And then I've got it in two different windows. So let's see if I can show this to you with two different windows. Let's see if I turn this light on, what does that do? Somehow you can turn this light on. See if that helps any. See, I'm trying to get it up here so y'all can see it a little easier. That's another brown one. I got three brown ones because there's three variations on these brown ones that I've got. There you go. Two different windows in them. You can see one's a blue and one's like a green color. Of course, the green color one is the one I'm trying to find a little bit better shape one. Not too worried about it because I know brown's a tough one to find. And then I have another one over here. Another brown one there. So I've got three brown ones, three different variations, two window colors. So I'm looking for a better green window. I've already got a pretty good blue one. Well, real good blue one actually, because I actually bought it from the guy who opened it out of the case. And along with this next one, I'm about to go over this blue one next to it. What's up, Ricky? Ricky's here. Good to see you in, Ricky. And then the blue one would be probably arguably close to the next highest, but I would probably say that it goes from brown being probably the highest U.S. release color price. And then I think that the color changer is quickly becoming number 2 over the blue one. That's my opinion. So here's my blue ones. And as you can see, there's 2 different colors on the yellows. Is the main reason I'm keeping both of these blues. Looks like they're still both Hong Kong base. I don't see any difference as far as base goes, and the windows and all that. But the birds are, of course, 2 different locations. This one's got the bird down and off the hood nose, but you've also got and it's a wider bird on this one compared to this one, it looks like. But you can see the difference in the yellows. And so some of these yellows will get light, and some of them will be like a dark. So I picked them up. Let me see, one of them has a little ding in the door. I guess it was this other one right here. Let me double check it. Yeah, this one right here. This and this I bought from the same fella. And I bought these both at a convention. This was in 2000 and I think it was a 2006 convention. I was in California, and I believe it was me, Pete, Johnny, and Pete and Johnny had flew over and went, and this was one of the very last pickups. My main role for the whole trip was to come back with a brown hot bird, because you can't bring a whole lot of stuff flying from California back. And one of the last rooms we went in on the last night, the guy had these both sitting there, and they looked great. And he said the packages were right down there, and they, had yellow blisters, and they were a little cracked, but he had just opened them. So I've got the packaging somewhere, but it didn't matter to me. They were in great shape. It's a great story, and it was cool that I got to, those guys were there to see it. Although I think Pete got the better deal on the deal. While I was working on those, he ended up buying all the black walls that were loose on the guy's bed for really good price, because he was just ready to go. So, oh, and if you was wondering about that brown hot bird, I gave $60 for it, and then the blue one was $15 from the guy right out of the packaging. And that was, like I said, that was back 20 years ago now, 2006. So anyway, we'll continue. Then we go into, of course, then you go into your hot bird, that is your hot ones, and they run this one all the way till they turn it into number 37. But for some reason, I don't know where my red interior loose one is. Now the one in the package was right over there. I have to get it and bring it over here. But I have this one in red interior. This with red interior number 37 is a really tough variation to find. You'll hear everybody talk about it. Being one of the tougher variations to find. There's your blue window on your gold hot ones. And then you've got a clear window on your gold hot ones. And then here's another blue. And this was, oh yeah, and then you got your different bases too. You got your Malaysia base there. Let me double check. Yeah, you got your, this is a gold chrome base. There's your chrome base. And then you've got your base with the with the raised text bar. Well, that's upside down, but it's got a raised bar at the bottom there, you can see. And then you've got your Hong Kong base. So Hong Kong base, and you've got it with a blue and a clear window. Then you've got your raised Malaysia base, where they just went over. That would be the next transition, where they just took the Hong Kong base, filled it in, put Malaysia on top. Then they recasted it and ended up being the Malaysia base smooth. So kind of a cool transition, and then you can see the different variations. And you got to look for that also with a green window. because I'm 99.9% sure I've got a green window variation of it somewhere. I've got some more Hotbirds somewhere because I'm missing one of the color interiors on that. I didn't bring the Captain America over either. It's over there. But that's basically a Hotbird casting too. I guess I should have brought it over. So then that gets me into this release would have been close around mid 80s. So that would be like pretty much right after around whenever these were come out. This would have been like all the way through late 80s into this one with the Malaysia base like this is going to be a number 37, probably 1990, 91 release. But this one was been mid 80s. The color changers, should have a real mint one up. I know I have one in the package somewhere. It's just a matter of finding the 3-pack of it. It's probably still up in the shop somewhere. But the color changer is quickly becoming. You'll see. You're seeing mint ones of these going for over 150 to 200 now. So the brown ones are got crazy, and these are really creeped up right behind the brown ones. Then the blue ones. Then you go on to your other variations, of course. And then the Leos. I've got a white Leo somewhere out in the shop. I can't wait to find it, get it out. It's rough. But just to have a Leo is crazy. So then you go into, this is your Fireball. This was, well, if it'll get it, I don't know if it'll even, I might have it too much light coming in on it. Let me see if I can turn this light off, see if it'll, I don't know if that light's better or worse. Anyway, there's the blue one. And I believe that was in number 37. Packaging 2. These two right here, which I've got a really nice, both of these. I got another nice one of these somewhere. But anyway, that's both. These are come off of the set, the barrel, the I think it's called the double barrel race set. That was the set that these come out of. Got your gold hot ones on that one, and you got your ultra hot on the other one. As far as the bases go, you got 2 different bases on these. You've got a Malaysia base with a date bar and a Malaysia date with the flat, and then of course you've got your 2 different wheels. So anyway, that's a couple other variations. Then you got another. This is another number 37 in the package here, which is the All-American Pride bird there. So there's a few variations on that to look for. Then you get into the Kellogg's. This was a mail away. I've got one of these somewhere still in the baggie. I think it's over there somewhere. I'll have to find it. But this one is mail away. It was in a cereal back in the day. Y'all remember that? Pretty cool. Then you get in. Then it jumps all the way up. You remember the number on these? These were blue cards, like right there toward the end. But I have quite a few of these in a package somewhere because I buy them just about. I used to buy them all the time, but you can see the huge difference in those two. Let me turn this light back on, see if it helps to show you the difference in these two things. Because these things are, you'll find them all different things, but these are way, 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 way different. So anyway, the bases, everything looked the same whenever I was first looking at these. But the base, if you look, is 2 different bases too. Let's get this one to come in too. But if you look, there's a trademark register on this one, and there's no register on that one, if you can see right there. So 2 different bases on those 2. So you'll see that on a few of these cars around these years. Things to look for that's probably not listed in the books. There's going to be a lot of swings and stuff like that. Never saw the serial mail away. Yeah, that's a cool piece. I used to buy those a lot because they would be nothing. I mean, you could buy them. When I say nothing, they'd be like you could buy baggy cars, 3 for $5 sometimes in rooms back in the day, and then sometimes it'd be like 5 for 10 or something like that. So I'd buy all those, and I'd buy a lot of the Union. I got the full Union 76 set over there. So anyway, let's see. We go into, oh yeah. Then we would jump over here to these. So this is where we would be right now. I should pull some of these up and move them so that I can move this stuff over here, but I don't really know. I don't even know where to start. But anyway, we'll just go through them like this. See if I can move that back some, and we'll put this other up here. I apologize. I wasn't ready for. I got involved in trying to fix this case. Next thing I do, I looked up and it was late. All right. Sorry. I'm gonna try to put this up here so we can go through the rest of these cars. All right. Sorry about that. I apologize. I know I was losing people, but try not to be too boring on it. But anyway, then you go into the. This was like a 400. I can't remember the exact number. It was in the 400s release. Whenever they was into the blue and white cards. So you have the one with the gold, no tampo on the hood with the 5-spoke. Then here's one with with the tampo and a lace. And then they also have it with lace with no tampo and lace with 5-spoke with the. I don't know. I have the rest of them. I'm sure they're in packages because I used to buy them quite a bit. But those are a sample of each one of them loose. So you'll find this one out there. And you'll also notice that some of them have black interior and some of them have a white interior. But I've not seen, I'm sure they're out there because there's going to be some probably switch over, but I haven't seen the black interior in a 5-spoke. But anyway, you're looking for the 5-spoke, the basic, in the lace with and without the hot wool tampo, the Firebird tampo. And then you got black interior on the lace, white interior on your 5-spoke. So if you find either one with the other base and it hadn't been tampered with, it'd be an awesome piece. I look for them all the time. Just FYI. This one is another one I believe is a little bit rare. A lot of people don't really know, I guess, don't really think about how rare this one is. This would come out of the Pontiac. Was it Pontiac 70th set? I can't. I believe is what this one come out of. And then this was another one of the set cars. I think this one come out of the Pontiac. It's called Pontiac Power. It was a 3-piece set. It's really cool. But this yellow one here with these Pro Circuit wheels are really cool. And that's a little bit harder to find sometimes if you're looking for that. Anyway, so a couple of set cars that you might not want to overlook especially if you're a hot bird collector, because some of them are really limited, more limited than what you're going to think. Then we get into our classics, and you remember when they first come out, they had put the wrong size wheels on a lot of them, so you're going to find a lot of the first runs with all large wheels. So like both of those have all large wheels front and back. You got a chrome and like they're black right there. All the rest of these colors had normal wheels on them. So you'll see. So if you find a chrome with a small wheel on the front, that's pretty good because your common is all large wheel. And then on your blue one, you can see there you got a small front wheel, which is back what should be on the car. So you got all large wheel on this color. and on this color. So if you find either one of the chrome one or this one with small front wheels, then that's a good variation because I don't believe I've even got that. I've looked for them, but I don't have them. They might be out there. Or if you find any of these with all large wheels, would you call it a variation or an error? I don't know. But there's your red and your blue. The classics were by far really some of the nicest paint jobs they ever put on these cars. I mean, they did an awesome job on the classics back in the day. So that's all the classics that come out. They've had quite a few hot birds over the years. And then you come into your 10-pack exclusives. You've got a yellow, you got a white, and you've got the black. That's your three-piece set. And I believe I've got an extra set of, not a full set. I think I've got these two extra. I don't think I've got an extra black. I have to look, make sure there's no variations. But I picked up some not too long ago because I thought that I needed I think I was looking for an upgrade because one of the ones I had, the one I had in my collection had a scratch across the top, but that was the way it was out of the package because I opened them. But anyway, that's your three 10-pack hot birds, yellow, black, and white. Like I said, it seems like more and more of this stuff is getting harder to come by just because it's sifting into people's collections over the years. Then you remember the Cent 68. That was a pretty cool one. The reason I remember this one so much is because this is the casting that I was buying and I was customizing to give away for St. Louis. I did 3-car set to give away at St. Louis back in the day for Rokes. And I used this casting because I did mine like a Black Bandit. I did my son's as a General Lee, and then my wife, nobody was opening treasure hunts, and I had opened. She liked the 300, whatever that thing was called, the Chrysler 300. So we bought all those treasure hunts, and we opened them and and did some customizing each one, and then put them out as a full set. I've got a set of them. They're right up there. Matter of fact. I'm just sitting here talking about something, and it's literally right there. What I'll do is I'll just reach up here and get them real quick. But we'll finish these last two that I have here in my hand. Of course, they come out with these two. And now I've seen this one with a 7-spoke on it before, but I've never seen this one with a 5-spoke. These come out just like right back to back. I'm not saying that if it's an error or variation, but I have seen a 7-spoke on this one. But I don't know if it's 100%. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. If it's loose, it's kind of hard. If it's in the package, you can kind of tell most time with the packaging. But anyway, that was what was that release? That was mid 2000s. Release Hot Bird. Oh yeah, I was going to show you those customs I was talking about just a second ago. I don't want to bore you. Little history. That's the first shirt I ever made. I didn't know it was going to come out as a square. I thought they were just going to crop my colors out of it, and they didn't. So, surprise, surprise. I'm getting these out that we just talked about for Chicago. Oh, actually, it was Chicago. I apologize. The St. Louis ones was whenever I did the trucks. I did the Volkswagen sets and the trucks, and I gave it says Lux surfboards. We talked about them before, but for anybody that hadn't seen them, that's the 3-car set. They're all setting up here, and I was gonna go for a rust effect, and I ended up doing Zamac kind of effect on them. But here's the ones I was just talking about. Apologize, I hate to bounce around. But 2008, these were the 3-piece customs that I gave away. Let me see if I may turn this light off so that they don't show up so much. That was my wife's. That was in 2008. We went around and got that treasure hunt. It was the Chrysler 300. Nobody was opening treasure hunts. So we just went around and opened them. And you got a mortar pencil because she works at pharmacy. And we put on the hood there, I don't know if you can see it or not, we put the Chicago 2008. And on the back, we put our Lux. I've always had Lux as the Hot Wheel symbol uh, on my stuff. Uh, Even whenever I had shirts made back in the day, whenever I went around, I had Lux and the Hot Wheels emblem. But there was the treasure hunt that we gave away. Then another piece of the 3-piece set was my son's car. This was the regular edition that I gave away. Now, the reason it's got 3 on the side, my son would have been 3 years old in 2008, in case you was wondering why there's a 3 on the side. And then on the top, I made it look like it was tattered and like it was driving, and then I put his name on there instead of putting the General Lee, I put Zachary. And then on the back, we put our Lux symbol. They've held up pretty good for that old. And you can see on the hood, I put the Chicago 2008 and some little something something there. I'll take the that block. Let me see if my number's on there. I still got my original old Hot Wheels email on there, but you can see that was the original cards I used to give out back in the day when I was buying, selling, trading Hot Wheels and stuff from people, mostly trading and buying for my collection. That's a cut down card, and I put that in the bottom of that. That's the regular edition, and then I also made this edition, and I only make so many with real riders and stuff to give out. So I gave 5 of these out, I believe, that year. My dad got a set, and then of course I made myself a set. 5 that I gave out, my dad got a set, and I had close friends that got a full set with the real riders. I love the General Lee. So, like I said, you had the option that I gave away to most, because I think I made 25 of each of these or so. I gave away that to most people with the 5-spoke, but then I gave away the real riders. I always made a special edition for the other people, for closer friends or whatever. And I've knocked them out over one of these cars. Now, this is my car for that year. And let me straighten these out. And I actually made 3. And I'll show you this first one, and it'll be real easy to know exactly why I said that is the casting that I used, and that's the wheels and everything. All I did on that one was put the body back on it. But what I did was I blew these apart back in the day to make them all match. I stripped them, paint them all black, and then I took the interiors apart and I painted all the interiors red. Made all the all the birds there. The black's hard to do. If you do a lot of custom, you'll know you got to cut in a certain way and all that to get black to show up. But anyway, you can see the bird. I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyway, bird on the hood. That was the red lines. I just put that chassis back on it. I did want a metal base. That's why I went with that one. And the Lux symbol on the back, and it says Chicago across the T-tops, 2008. So kind of a cool little piece, but I also made 3 different wheels on it too. This was my normal wheel that I gave out. Pretty slick back in the day. I cut up a white car. I think it's called a Zodiac or something like that back in the day, just to get those those gold wheels off. But my favorite wheel of all kind, the one that I gave to everybody for the 5-piece set, was these gold 5-spoke gold. That was my favorite one, and that's the one that is on the picture, and that's the full set that's on the picture that I gave out. Like I said, I made like 6 with the real riders. One's my set, then my dad got a set, and then few of my close friends got the other ones. But there you go. That was 3 different wheels, and I never gave away this wheel. This only one that's of this is but that wheel. But that is the exact casting that I used to make every one of these. All these have metal bases, so kind of cool. And then I had another buddy that was using all the red lines for other things. So whenever I cut the red lines off, I was getting some of this stuff back, and we just that's the way I did all my customs back in the day. I always used Hot Wheel wheels. There now you've got a plethora of different wheels and everything that you can use. But anyway, beside the point, that was a 3-car set that I had done customs for and gave away for Rokes back in the day. And like I said, I always try to do a special edition for just a few, and then I give away, just a few. But it's been a while since I've done them. I used to do them every year for a while. I used to be into customizing big time, but then I slowed down because it's a lot of time and effort, especially to put full sets together. So anyway, sorry about the tangent. I thought we might go over just because we are here in this, just happen to be standing here. Move my wife's phone and her little Hot Wheel. I need to take it upstairs so see what she wants to do with that. Just trying to move some stuff around. So anyway, we'll get back over into the rest of these hot birds. Also got some posters if y'all want to check them out. Some that are pretty cool and kind of getting a lot rarer. A lot of these posters are in these days. But anyway, I've got a lot more posters up in the shop too. But let me see what's going on over here in the chat real quick. That black and gold TA Swede. How do you do the custom tampos? It was water slides. You would get old on the back in the day. Now I haven't done customs in a few years. They've probably come a ton of ways in the last. Well, shoot, I probably hadn't done customs. I mean, I showed you a few of the things I messed around with, and like this kind of stuff. Nothing crazy. Now, no painting and stuff like that was one of the last things I ever customized, just because. So these come out in what, 2011? So probably 2011 last time I messed with anything much on customs because I did that, and then or maybe whenever the white 55 come out. Um, but after you do so much, it's just like I used to go and I competed all the time. I don't know what I've done. I think I've cut my arm on something all of a sudden. Oh no, I didn't. I must have hit it on something. Never mind. Anyway, I used to do the custom contests, and then once I kept entering. A lot of awesome guys used to do the customs. I mean, you had Pope always done them. You had Chris Walker was always big in them, and now they've got doing some crazy stuff. Uh, there's always some crazy customs out there. So um, I enjoyed them, but it just took too much time, and I just didn't have the time to do them. And eventually, I'd like to do some more. I appreciate it, Deborah. Yeah, they're a water slide. So anyway, I'm sorry. You get a water slide, and you can get a clear, or you can get a white solid piece of paper. And then if you've got it, get the best printer you had, and then you print them. And once they come out of the printer, whatever you decide to print, you'd want to print pretty much the whole sheet so you didn't waste a lot. You print it, and then you take and you'd have to get the crystal clear coat and clear coat them and let them dry. And then whenever you got ready to cut them, you always cut with the grain. You'll know whenever you take your scissors, whenever you cut, you want to cut to where the tempo, whenever you go to cut, the edges aren't folding up. You cut it a certain way, and you'll notice that it'll cut down. You may have to cut this where depending on what scissors you're using. So that's another tip and trick that some of the people used to tell me back in the day whenever I was talking to guys that were doing it, day in and day out. And so yeah, ultimately that's what anyway, I learned how to do customs. When I finally won a custom contest, I decided that I was kind of done with customs. And my custom that I won with is not even sitting out here right now. I think I don't see the other one up here either. I thought I had it up here right there, but I don't see it right now. But anyway, it's no big deal. Oh, it's around the other side. I see it now. No big deal. All right. Yeah, the new shirt. I don't have any new shirts yet. Well, I've had some people asking about shirts, so I'm going to probably have to do another order before too long. If anybody is interested in shirts, like I said, I don't promote selling shirts. They're not like this one. This is the First shirt I ever did, I thought this was going to be, I didn't know it was going to be a big white blotch. I did on the front and the back. It's a nice shirt, feels nice. I just don't like the blotch. Second time I ordered them, they're supposed to be black. They ended up navy blue. So then I got to the gray ones, and they're my favorite for the field. So that's where I've been ever since. So that's why I make them all those gray ones. So if there's anybody wanting a shirt, I know I've talked to a few of y'all that have. Let me know and in the sizes, and I can see what I can do. But anyway, we'll get back over to the hot birds, and then we'll go over some posters if we decide we want to do that. But anyway, we'll go back over here to the hot birds. Let's see where we're at. Oh yeah, this one I believe was the one that come out of the top 40. I believe. I was just noticing that this one shouldn't be next. My red one must be. There's a red one with the black hot wool tampo. There's two of them like that. There's a red black hot wool tampo with these wheels and a basic wheel. Lost in China. I don't know why you got it out. Anyway, the Lost in China, they've got a metallic and a solid red. Solid red was the samples, and then your metallic is not sample. And then they also have a red one with 5 spokes that come in a 50-foot track, roll track, come with a 67 Charger in blue. Anyway, for some reason it's not out here either. So I got to figure out where those are because I thought they would be in here. They might be on another roll. Maybe I missed it on one of these shelves. But anyway, there should be a metallic red and a solid red, Lost in China. And then there should be a red with a black tampo hood bird that come out of with a 5-spoke that come out of the 50-foot roll from Kmart tracks. So anyway, I believe this was the top 40 car that come out. It was a brown with the gold basic wheels. I think that was one of their better looking cars. It's kind of supposed to be a throwback to the original brown hot bird, is what I believe. But anyway, so there was this one. Then you get into your treasure hunt. That's your regular. And then you had a super. That was back whenever, remember, they would put the regular treasure hunt and the super both be the same car, which I thought was the best way to do it. And anyway, these are getting a little bit tougher to find, but I've got one that's even tougher than that. Now I am looking for this one, the 5-spoke, the basic one with a painted base, because I have seen one, and I have a painted base on the super. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but there's your painted base and regular base super. I can't get them to come in. But whenever you're looking for these hot bird supers and regulars, if you find a painted base, try to snag it up as fast as you can. I didn't know how rare they were going to be. Of course, I collect loose, so it didn't matter to me. But it's a variation, and I've seen one painted base on that one. I don't know why they painted the base on certain ones, but it's like sometimes they did that on the old stuff in the 80s too and the 90s. And sure enough, you got a painted silver base, and then you've got your metal base. So I would say that the painted metal base Super Treasure Hunt probably trumps the rarity of probably all the way up almost to a brown hot bird, I would almost say, because I mean, I've probably only seen 3 in my life. So, and I look at a lot of hot birds. I'm just saying, you may have one out there in your collection and you don't even know it's got a painted base because you may not know about the variation. That's all I'm getting at. And so if you do find it, that's awesome. But if you do find one and you want to get rid of it with the painted base on the 5-spoke, I've probably got some stuff I'd trade for it because I do need that one. Anyway, we'll keep moving. This one is getting a little bit tougher to find too. I'm just telling you, if you're hot bird collectors, this is the Arizona hot bird. Chris, I need to find you one of these, buddy. I forgot about this, but this is an Arizona Hotbird. Remember whenever they did the 50 states? And the Hotbird was a little, this was like toward the end run. You know, some of those were getting tougher to find. And I think I ended up picking up a couple of these at Big Lots, is where I ended up getting mine at. So, but anyway, the Arizona Hotbird, a lot of people, you forget until you go back through. Um, can't wait to get all these. I kind of think, I know I got my Hotbirds in the 90s, up to the 90s in that area, but it's kind of like fun. Maybe I'll do that and then I'll just do the others. Kind of fun to do them all in the history of the Hotbird casting. I still got I got the Captain Americas over there. I can see them, but I didn't bring them over. But that's all right. Then we go into you remember this? This had the Flame, what were these called? The Flame series. There was a blue one. And then you remember the red? Well, let's check out this color swing. And the reason I know that there's quite a bit of color swings on these is because I've actually had 2 or 3 sets of these over the years. Uh, I think I've still got one set in the package put up just because, uh, you know, I don't even know if you call it really a color swing at that point. But like I said, they are, um, everything's basically the exact same. Of course, it's 2 different run dates. Don't get me wrong. They got the run date stamped on the bottom of those, but crazy amount of color change in those. You'll look around and you'll see quite a bit of these red ones, but this real dark maroon, you hardly ever see anything like. But anyway, um, and then of course you got your blue there. Found another blue one. Where was that other blue one at? I just picked one up the other day. I need to double check with it. We just went over it in the last video, matter of fact, this week. I pick up the Hotbirds because we're getting close to the one that I just picked up. So then you got the gold one. You remember this one that come out of the Rockford Files, which doesn't look anything like the Rockford Files car because the Rockford Files car never had. I believe this was the Rockford Files car. No, I could be wrong. No, I believe this one might be the Rockford Files now that I think about it. I apologize. That's the Rockford Files because it was the opening hood. Remember when they did the opening hood? This one, you know what? I'm confused on which casting this one come out of all of a sudden. That's the Rockford Files there. This is, all right, I'm stumped for some reason. My mind went blank. Y'all Hotbird people out there, help me out. What was that? I'm pretty sure it was a big black, one of the big black movie packages, but I can't remember what movie. Y'all let me know. I can't remember for some reason. Then you've got, you know, this color that come out. And so this one come out in 2 different colors. I don't know why all those aren't here. And then that comes out to the last one that come out in, just come out in this cast. Now this is Hotbird casting, not the opening hoods. We can go over the opening hoods. But this is the 80th. And that's all the Hotbird casting that's got the original casted shut hood and all that. That's not every variation, obviously. I've still got some of the variations. I got different colors than that one. And of course, I've got some more variations to get out. So I'm hoping to get all that out. And maybe I'll do a whole video on just Hotbirds. I'm wanting to do a video on every casting eventually. That's a long time down the road to get all of them, but I'd like to start working on them. Anyway, we'll get back over here to this. This was whenever they went to, this was a Redline Club release when they first was looking into doing more of the detail. And this one had this was the first, I believe this was the first opening hood one that they made. Well, I can't get the hood to open on this one, but anyway, you can see the lines around it if it'll come in there. It's got an opening hood, and that's the Redline Club Hotbird. It's hard to explain how nice these Redline Club cars are. I know a lot of people don't collect loose like I do, but it's just different look whenever you got them out. Here's the yellow Hotbird that come out with the opening hood, and I really like the way that they had the opening hood, but they left the snorkel. I mean the shaker on the engine so that the actual hood opens up like it's supposed to. which is really cool. And then the silver one, I believe this one said 70s. Remember, I believe this one come out whenever they had the decades cars. And I believe this was the 70s decade car. Another, like I said, opening hood. So the opening hood part's pretty cool. And then this one, for sure, is the Rockford Files Hot Bird. They got the color right. The only thing, and they got the white walls because they should have put basic the 5 spokes on it. Of course, it was a Rockford Files limited edition, but not had the wing on the back and not have the shaker because he never had those type. But he did have the white walls in that color car. Rockford Files was one of the coolest shows back in the day, and sometimes I'll put a rerun on because it's on one of the channels just to kind of look up and see the cool cars because it's usually driving around outside, kind of like watching Chips nowadays, seeing all those cars back in the day. Nobody thought about back then, but now kind of think about it. And that kind of goes over the hot bird stuff as far as the regular releases. And then you got into the 77s. Now I did pull those down. Now I don't know if all the 77s are together, but this was the Modern Classic, which was the first one that come out. And I couldn't tell you how many of these I cut up when they first come out. Matter of fact, I've got a custom right here. Use that. Whoop. I got a custom right back here that I use this casting for. Because I took it apart. I stripped the paint. And then I buffed it with a wheel. And of course, it needs buffed back again to make, it should have been buffed and clear coated. But that's exactly what I used for that casting. And as soon as it come out, I probably had like, I don't know how many. I was buying them left and right as soon as I could find them. And then, same things. They clearanced them out. Had the Datsuns, had the, I don't know how many Monte Carlos. Remember with the Monte Carlo with the front hoods, the 83 Silverados, just tons of them. You was getting them for a couple bucks, $3 a piece the most. And then you go to the shows and they were little or nothing because nobody was really collecting them much. And anyway, I love the 77. I thought it was a lot. They really did a great job on the body on it. So anyway, that was the Modern Classics, whatever you want to call them. That's whenever they first started coming out. Then you've got this blue one was probably one of my favorites, besides of course the Smokey and the Bandit one they put out. But that blue with that blue bird and stuff, like I said, I can't get it to come in for some reason. I want that to come up. See if I can put some light on the subject. See if that helps. It's like a satin blue. I don't know if y'all remember that casting in that color. But man, you're talking about a good looking car. What were these called? Come out at Target, right? There's Target exclusive. I think they were called what was the name of them? It wasn't an Ultra Hot, was it, or anything like that? Maybe it was Ultra. They come out with some sets that didn't have Ultra Hot wheels and stuff back in the day, but anyway, this one I think was a Target exclusive back in the day, the blue. But the blue is probably one of my favorite colors. Then you got your 4th of July. Remember that set that come out with the 4th of July set? Come out in the 77. That was a 50th anniversary there on the back. Ooh. I don't know if y'all had any ladybugs, but all of a sudden we got ladybugs that come out last couple days. So really warm here compared to normal. Then of course you've got your white one. You remember the white one that come out? That was a regular package one. Then the Zamac come out. The same thing as the white one, but it was the Zamac that they laid out. Then there was a blue one. So you got the blue and the white. It would have been cool if they would have done the exact opposite. Done this blue with the white bird. I've never seen that done, but that would have been cool. Just to do the exact opposite on those two cars. And then, of course, there was a Zamak. Those were really popular. The Zamak was real popular when it first hit. Um, and then you get to this one I'm sure everybody kind of knows. This one I did open. This I've still got. This is from the Smokey and the Bandit movie. I've got it, and I've got the big rig, uh, Snowman's big rig. But this was in that. That's what the package this one come out of. I've still got one of these somewhere in the pack, and I haven't opened the big rig yet to put with it. But I may leave it in the package and then put this in front of it. But anyway, that's a cool piece. A lot of people won't open them because they're getting a little bit harder to come by now. Oh yeah, then you got the red release. I always thought that was a cool flame job on the side of it. It's different than these other releases if you look. Um, this is the one that got the same paint job on it. Pretty cool. Then you get to the that's one of my favorite. I wish they would have left that stripe off the bottom there, but everything else is really cool on that one. Let's see. Fast and the Furious, I believe, release was this one. If I don't have it mistaken, I believe that was the Fast and Furious release. And then the regular, and then you've got your treasure hunt. So you got your super and your your regular release, and then your super right there of the 77. And I believe that's all the 77s up to date. There might be a variation or two that's not out right now. And then of course I don't want to forget whenever they did this casting, they've got it out in a couple different. I kept this one. I've got this one, a couple of these. Somewhere on the package, one of these I know because it's called the Pace Setter, I believe is what this one was. And no, Pacemaker. And then they also did the yellow version of this that I think it's only two that's out there. If there's more than that, y'all let me know. Oh yeah, I apologize. There is a version of this that is a Troy Lee design that I do not have. So anyway, that takes care of kind of some of the. That's not all of them, but that's the majority of them. And then of course you do have, if you do hot birds, there are micro hot birds too out there. So if you're into hot birds, there's micro hot birds. I'm still looking for this one that come on a watch. Um, Seen a picture of one a long time ago. Now I'm looking for this one on a watch, and there was one that had the headlights on it, and I don't think I ever got the headlight one either. But I'll double check as I go through stuff out in the collection. But anyway, that's kind of some of the hot bird stuff all together. I've got a few more variations and stuff that I'll get together, and then of course the Captain Americas I could have pulled two, but I didn't. I apologize for that. Anyway, I hope I'm not boring y'all to death. But one other thing that I was talking about from last week that we'll go over real quick is these posters here. I pointed to going through some of them last week. I kind of went through and pulled some of the Hot Wheels stuff out. I'm still looking for a few posters, but I found some of my most important ones that I've been looking for. This one, of course, if you watch the channel, you know kind of what this one is. This is not the real one. I would love to find a real one of these, but anyway, that was just hanging in there, and I want to pull it out. This was an important one that I wanted to show because a lot of people. Why in the world was that falling? Anyway, well, that fell. I don't know what I did, but this picture right here. Let me turn this light off. I'm trying to see if I can get this to come up. Look at this. This is a drawing, a hand drawing, painting, whatever you want to call it, that was hanging in the this was hanging in the NHRA Motorsports Museum in Pomona, and this was the Don the Snake's Perdome. This was the exhibit where they put his cars at. The grand opening October 19th from 2002. This is the NHRA Motorsports Museum in Pomona, California, is where this one come from. And that's a pretty famous picture, but this is actually a drawing somebody has done of that picture. But it was hanging in the museum, and you got your Don Perdome snake racing there. Of course, I love the Snake and Mongoose, old school stuff and the original stuff. Can't get much more original than that. If y'all have seen the one video, I've got the one with the Snake and Mongoose. It's like a 10-foot banner that hung outside when they released the movie. But anyway, and then I've got the original Snake and Mongoose Redline framed. I should have brought that over, but we'll go over some more posters. But love that poster. If you've never seen that picture before, it's a pretty iconic picture. But this is an actual, looks like a hand drawing of this car, and then this was hanging in the museum, which I thought was cool. Anyway, I'm excited about it. That's why I talked about it a lot. Just to have a piece of I call it history. Y'all know this poster, I'm sure. The good part about this, I actually found out that I've got a couple extras of these. I thought that I had run out of these, and I found a few more. So, sorry. Anyway, if y'all have seen the channel, if y'all watched the channel a long time, I've had quite a few of these over the years, and I had a bunch for a little while, and I thought I'd got rid of all of them. Well, this is my personal one that I've had hanging, but I found a few more. Let me look over here, and I'll tell you. That's what I transport them in, this piece of cardboard here. Looks like I've got, these are new old stock, but I got 4 or 5 left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one of these posters to the grab bag giveaway, so you'll have an original new old stock 84 Hot Wheels poster if you're into that. And if you was into Black Walls, I guarantee you're going to know 90% or if not 100% of every car on here. I can tell you that this was most of my childhood's cars right here on this one poster. Kind of crazy. Anyway, I found a few more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one of those to the grab bag giveaway later in the year. And I'll update you when we get on down road another month or so. I'll show you what's kind of going in every week after a little bit. But this comes to this poster here. If anybody else has this poster out there in the world of Hot Wheels, let me know. Because I bought this one when a buddy of mine he bought a set of these, and these, the way I understand them, these were a prototype poster that never got released. And he has the Hot Bird one and a couple other ones, but I wanted the Hot Bird. He gave me a price then. I should have paid it. Of course, I'd pay that in a heartbeat now. This is a long time ago, but I believe these come out of Strauss's collection, and this was the prototype. I love the Ford Bronco. I love this picture, and of course, it is got the Hot Wheels symbol here, but I've never seen another one, and I was told this was some type of prototype. I don't know if that's true or not. Looked like they took the picture like in an aquarium, because then it's got some like I don't know, seaweed and stuff in the background there. So kind of wild. So anyway, if anybody's got a poster like this, y'all let me know. Now I have transfers with this picture on it, just the Bronco, but not the actual background picture. So I don't know a ton about it. Matter of fact, I need to talk to the guy I got it from and get a little bit more story again for that. But I love that poster there. Now, a couple of more posters I wanted to show y'all real quick. See if I can find that black board real quick. I'll just grab my board real quick, and we'll look at them from my board. I'm gonna bring this over so we can wrap them posters on it real quick. I apologize if I'm boring all y'all, but we're about done for today. But I thought I'd go over these few posters. These are ones you hardly ever see. If you collect red lines, or if you was a big, you know, if you was a Hot Wheel collector back in the day, you may have had some of these. It's easier for me to kind of just show them. I don't have these framed yet, but I still got to have these framed because these are getting really hard to come by. Original Hot Wheels Grand Touring poster. Uh, we have Ford GT right there. Ford 40 GT. These come out in 1970. What a cool picture. And that's the Grand Toros. And if you don't know Grand Toros, we talked about them last week. Matter of fact, I've got one sitting right up here. And this is a Grand Toro, or what they want to call a Grand Toro, whatever you want to call it there. And these are, let's see if I can get that back here. So that's a killer Hot Wheel poster. If you like the 70s Hot Wheel posters, the red line posters, this is they're about as good as you're going to get. So, got to get this. Love that Grand Toros poster. But wait, there's another poster in here. Of course, y'all know the famous Snake and Mongoose poster. I wish I would have pulled it out. It's actually over there. I've moved it around. This poster right here, I think, is pretty rare because I've not seen but maybe two of these in life besides the one I've got in my hand here. And that's the Team McLaren Hot Wheels poster from 1970. I mean, check this thing out. That's why I'm going to try to put it over my. It's easier to put them over this for right now to kind of show them. But these have to be. These have to be put in poster frames like as soon as I can get a chance to go have these done. But I don't want to get them messed up. They've already been used. Don't get me wrong. These are not new old stock. I have one still new old stock, and my Snake and Mongoose was new old stock. I actually took it out of the cellophane or the plastic, whatever, and I actually unrolled it and got it framed because it was so nice. But there's a Team McLaren poster. Check that out. It's got Dan Gurney, and it says right there, Hot Wheels Racer sponsors the winning team. Team McLaren with Dan Gurney, Dennis Racer, McLaren. Pretty awesome. So anyway, got to get that one framed too. These are the red line original 1970 posters. You don't see these a ton, just letting you know. I'm not saying that just to be saying that. You don't see them a lot. Well, I'm dropping everything. Sorry. I'm standing up, but I'm knocking everything down. But this poster right here, check this one out. This is one of my favorites too. And this one is used too. I bought all these throughout the years used from people. If you saw Chris's video earlier today, he picked up a similar similar race car to this. This is Dan Gurney's number 48 open wheel right there. Pretty crazy. That's the California 500. It's what that one's called. It's a Hot Wheels poster. And he picked up an open wheel racer kind of like that. But check out that the graphics on that. And it's dated 1970 there in the corner. Said you never see these posters hardly, so it's awesome to be able to find some of those. Posters up in the Hot Wheels section. Yeah, I know what you're meaning, Forrest. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Chris. Sorry, the Cox cars. He's got an awesome Cox collection. He's starting. It's really awesome. Well, he's got quite a few of them already. But these kind of posters are crazy. This one actually been cut at one time. Somebody's taped this back together on the back. It's been a while, you can see. But over the years, it's been hard to find these posters because nowadays to find them, I'm sure you can find them nowadays. I just don't know what they'd be, how much they'd be. So got to get all those framed. This one right here is in the worst shape, but it is also my favorite besides the Snake and Mongoose. This one is this 73. It's pretty cool because, you know, they use this on the 73 artwork, but this is a 1970 poster, so they was already, I don't know if they just decided to go with this one or not, or just because it's just crazy, but this one is not perfect, but once it gets framed, it's going to look real good. And if you know these posters, like I said, these posters, this one right here especially, they start getting really, really out there. So anyway, that's the 1970, another 70 poster. I think there were 6 total. I've got 5 of the 6. If there might be one I'm missing, but the Sizzler poster, as far as I know, is one of the posters I'm missing. And if y'all can think of another one, I'm pretty sure there's probably a couple more, because I don't think I've got the Sizzlers up in the shop. I may have some more posters in the shop. Well, as a matter of fact, I know I do. I've got bunches of posters, but um, I don't think I've got the Sizzler one. So if anybody's got the Sizzler and wants to, let it go. Or this one here, because this one, if you look there, this says free with purchase. This is, I believe, a 1974-75 release poster. You can see the nose of the flying. This is the Flying Colors Formula 5000 right there. And this one's free with purchase. Is still in the cell, never been opened. So I hate to open this one because I'd like to keep it where it says free with purchase. But I'm looking for one of these posters. This one's a little bit more easily. Now, I'm not saying they're easy, but a little bit more obtainable than a lot of the other ones. But I hate to open it because it actually has it printed on the outside, the free with purchase. If it was just clear, it would have been opened and probably framed. But that's new old stock. That's the red line posters, some Blackwall posters. Here's a couple. Here's one I've got a question for some of y'all may have know or not know. I've been asked a few times where I got this. I've got this a long time ago. I don't know where or why. Of course, this obviously is similar to the 73. Whoops, dropped my ear piece out of my ear. This is close to the 73. You remember the 73 release poster we just looked at? Matter of fact, anyway, the Snake and Mongoose was released in 73. So I don't know if this was somebody had done some artwork back in the day, and this is not old school stock. This is somebody I don't know if they recreated this picture from something, but I didn't know if y'all knew because this kind of looks like similar to the poster that we just looked at. Well, let me get it up, see if I can get it up here. We can see it. That looks similar to this. And the Getaway, you remember the Getaway set that, that all have the similar looking graphics. So I don't know if like maybe the same artist made this and it never got released and then somebody, I don't know. Y'all, if y'all know, let me know, but it's a killer piece. I've had it framed like this for a long time, and I get a lot of questions about it when people have seen it. And I said, I don't remember where I got it. I'm sure I got it from a show a long time ago, but probably somebody printed it off of something, but where they got it at originally, I don't know. So anyway, that was another one that I had a question on, and maybe somebody out there knows more than I do about that. But anyway, couple other posters, and then we'll be done. I've just jumped around everywhere tonight. Something pretty cool that you probably never saw or even knew about was this foreign display here. This is Maggie Willie's offer. If you'll read there at the bottom, it'll tell you 1 Hot Wheels car in exchange for 5 empty packets of Maggie noodles. So this is from 1991. This is a sweeps. I don't know exactly where this is from. This is not from the States. This is from somewhere else, as you can see. RS5, whatever that is, however much that is. But anyway, it's a really cool original poster that hung up whenever they were having that promotion. Got a cool, neat streeter there. Your second win. It looks like a Chevy Citation, or it might be a Golf. It looks more like a Chevy Citation, but it could be a Golf. But anyway, oh yeah, Tool Time. The that Snake and Mongoose poster. I appreciate it. Love the 73. Yeah, I had the red Cox car with. Yeah, that is really cool. Car looks like that. Yeah. Would assume the original. Yeah, the original posters do have the dates on them. They're right in the corners. So if I like re-roll, I'll show you. I'll bring it up here close so you can see it. Uh, those original posters, 1970, every one of those has the same date, 1970 on them. Not the Snake and Mongoose poster. It don't have any dates. Like I said, I believe that was a print. Um, so if I can, here you go. Here's the corner of this one. Like I said, all these are used. I've collected these over the years at different Hot Wheels shows and conventions. Try to get them to come in there, but it says 1970 on each one of the originals there. Um, that's why I thought that the 73 poster was cool because it's original. One of the, I think there was 6. I think the one I'm missing is the Scissors poster. I never have found it out in the wild. I'm sure they're out there. It's just a matter of finding it eventually. But if you'll look in the corner of this 73, now the 73 I got from the guy that had that rip. Pretty sure I got that from the same guy because they had just regular. Somebody used these back in the day. You can see how they reinforced each corner with tape. And I like them used like that, and because it's got a lot more history to me. Of course, mint ones are nice. Don't get me wrong, but just for the simple fact, I'm trying to get it up there so y'all can see the 1970 copyright. So that tells me they had the drawing. So by 72, they're probably like, you know what? We like that drawing. Maybe we'll just use it for our. I don't know that for sure. I'll try to get it in there. I'm having a hard time getting this thing to focus. 1970 Mattel right there. I know it's crooked. Sorry. So anyway, yeah, the copyright dates are on all this. This old Maggie, I got a lot of like obscure stuff like this around up in the shop that I've collected over the years. A lot of different ads and programs they had. Somebody messaged me something. Hopefully it wasn't nothing crazy. Um, anyway, um, this is nothing crazy here. This is the 2006 Redline Club poster, and this was, I think, the 2004 or 5 Redline poster here. You remember those posters? They used to send out with a membership. I've got a ton of these laying around somewhere out there. Kind of cool. I found another one of my stacks of the certificates of authenticity for the prototypes. This is the one that I was wanting to see because I had a guy wanting this whenever he wrote it out. That was whenever I got the custom 67 Camaro in burnt orange with the resin prototype, and the guy that used to work there and what he was doing whenever he got it too. And that's a lot of these cars that I got from him. So next time I go to the Hot Wheels convention, I'm going to bring these with me and try to talk to Larry, which shouldn't be that big a deal, and talk to him about those so he can he'll tell me more about the guy, because I'm sure he knew everybody that was working then whenever he was ahead of the place or whatever over the everybody. So I need to take that with me along with a couple of those prototypes when I go back to the convention, just so I can talk to him about that. Oh yeah, a couple other posters real quick, and I'll let you go. This is no big deal, but to me it's kind of fun. This was one of the conventions back in the day that they had done in Nashville, the Music City here, the Collectors Experience. Whenever they first started out, it was and I think Brian Pope, I'm pretty sure, did the buses on these sets. I believe Brian Pope done those. But anyway, there you go. Kind of neat. After the events, stuff like this a lot of times get thrown away. I just asked for it. Kind of fun about this stuff here, because some of the stuff I found, I thought some of y'all that might remember back in the day. Y'all remember Kmart days? This is one of the original posters from Kmart days. Whenever they were done all the time, if you asked them for them, they would usually give them to you. Whoever asked first, usually. So, kind of cool. If y'all remember the Kmart days, I asked for these posters when I could get them. I've got a few of them, and this was from 2004, I believe, is whenever this one come out. It may say there on it somewhere. Uh, but anyway, I got two Kmart Day posters here. Attention, Hot Wheel collectors. Trying to read. Yep, 2004 right there on the bottom. But anyway, the main reason I got those, I thought that's really cool, and I'm going to hang these, is because Hot Wheels days used to be a big deal around here. I'm sure some of y'all people remember. It was an awesome experience for collectors. I wish somebody, I know they tried to move to different areas. I wish that somebody else would take this over back in the day when you were guaranteed you knew you was going to get some cool stuff. At least one day out of the year you'd get something cool. Because you usually got to open, everybody usually got to open a case. And if they didn't have enough cases to go around, they'd usually draw numbers and stuff. Here's a couple more posters, and we'll be done. This is one of my favorite posters. I need to get this one framed. I think I've got a couple of these, or I used to have a couple of these, but y'all remember the 30th year anniversary card. Now this was right after I'd started collecting in 1997. 1998 was the 30th year anniversary, and that was a cool set. And this is a Target exclusive poster from 1998. So very cool poster. Got some awesome artwork. Got some killer cars. It's got my Scorching Scooter right there that started me collecting. And then of course everybody was starting to buy that because you couldn't afford a first edition bust much, so you had to buy the 30th anniversary bust and use it for a placeholder until you could afford one back in the day. So very cool poster. You don't see a lot. There you go. Well, I was talking about the Kmart's. We used to go to 3 or 4 Kmart's every time Kmart Day was there. And I would go around and lay all the cars out so I get all the variations. That's where I found my pink Bedlam and some really cool rare variations, because a lot of people didn't care about, they didn't care about variations. A lot of people didn't know about the variations. I didn't know about the pink Bedlam until I was looking at like 50 of them nobody was buying, and there was different variations in colors, and then all of a sudden I found one that was a weird pink color, so I bought it. Kind of wild. And then this is cool. Now I haven't ever opened this one. I think it's awesome because it's got your original Kmart sticker there. This is right when they were going, Hot Wheels had basically took over a lot of the monster trucks, getting into that in 2001. And that's from 2001, still sealed from Kmart. And it's a monster truck. It's got I think it's got the pictures of the first original 2001 monster truck set. I haven't opened it up. I don't think I'm going to open it. But it is cool, from Starline. So pretty cool. So as far as that goes, as of right now, that's all the posters and stuff I have down to go over for today. And pretty much everything to go over for today. I wish I would have had this a little bit more laid out for y'all. Back here, like I said, I just been working on the motor on this. I was hoping to have this one rolling tonight, but we're getting closer because I got to be able to get my car straightened out. So I got to get motors. I'm working on that. But anyway, if there's anything y'all want to talk about or see more about or whatever, go over for next week, just let me know. If there's anything y'all want to see more of or talk about, you can put it on the videos. You can put it on here. You can, whatever you want to do. And we'll try to get over it next week. But we're making progress. It is slow, but we are making progress. And we'll eventually get everything straightened around and out and done. And I may have to make me one display just for my hot birds, and then the 77 and the that's what I might end up doing here. But anyway, I still got some of my Sweet 16 sitting here, and 55, the Alive 55 red lines there, 55. Anyway, and then there's bandits. Anyway, well, I guess I will start letting y'all go. Just some stuff to go over that as I've gone through stuff. got some framing to do on some posters and stuff, and we'll get them framed up. I'll try to remember to get a few more things out to go over for next week. So if there's anything y'all want to know more or see, let me know in the comments. I got some limited edition clothes and stuff I'll bring down that I bought over the last 20 years. I meant to bring it back this week, but I haven't figured out a good way to show it to you because now that I can see, I guess I can stand up. I'll just bring it down here and I'll just flip them through like I did those posters. But anyway, well, I hope y'all had I had a great time, great show. I will go ahead and let y'all get back to what y'all were doing. I'm working on another video. I think it's Webster's what I'm working on now. I think there's a show this week. It's not a show. It's a. I think I'm gonna try to go to the. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Um, Rebecca had sent it to me. It's a show in Lebanon. It's a truck show. I think it's a GMC truck show. It's in Lebanon this weekend. I may try to see about that this weekend, but I don't know of any. I'm not going to. No, probably won't be going to Bartlett, Deborah. That's a pretty good trip, which no big deal on the trip part as much, but just I'll probably wait and do it. I'll have to make definitely a trip where I have to do it. I have to probably be an overnight kind of deal because from here I think it's about 4 hours, 4.5. Um, but anyway, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. If there's, like I said, if there's anything else you want to see or know more about for next week, you let me know. I'm just going to keep moving stuff around and cleaning, and as I find something I think's kind of interesting or neat, I'll pull it to the side. Um, but anyway, we'll go ahead and let you get back to it, and we'll talk to y'all. Hopefully, I'll see y'all this next week. I should have another video coming out hopefully soon. I think it's going to be over the Webster Flea Market in Florida. Really cool finds there. Um, I think that's what I'm working on right now. That might be the next video, but may go to there's a truck show this weekend in Lebanon, so they should have a swap meet, and that means hopefully some Hot Wheels and toys and stuff. So, and some car parts. But anyway, well, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. If there's anything else y'all want to see more of or know more about, put in the comments, message me, text me like y'all normally do or whatever, and we will get it on the next one. So anyway, it's been a great time. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out with me and listening to me ramble. And we will catch you on the next one. Thank you.